What's up, everybody? And my brothers and sisters. Today is January 21st, 2021. Today I really want to talk on the Tree of Life and just read some stuff on the Tree of Life. I feel it's talked about a lot, but people don't really dig into it. And a good starting point would be Daniel chapter 4 and the description of the Tree of Life and how it would be taken away from us and cut down and, tying it all together, what it is, the blessing it is, the reason why it's been taken away from us, and the war on bringing it back. Proverbs 15:4, a wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. A wholesome tongue. This is the hardest thing to control, whether it's spewing words or opinions or food addiction or drug addiction, alcohol, taste buds. This thing controls so much. And it's one of the smallest things on our body, but has so much power. And the Bible refers to it as the steer on a ship. It's what steers what direction you go, right here. And it starts with making sure it's wholesome. Proverbs 3:18, she is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. We know Jesus said that Mary had the special gift. Proverbs 11:30, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. We're to bear fruit. We're known by our fruits. We don't have to tell people who we're following or what we believe in. It should be evident, because we're supposed to be witnesses, which is evidence. We don't have to talk about it. We do our best to live it. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we let emotions control us. Proverbs 13:12, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. If anything, hearts have been exposed. And that's what I feel the last year, probably our whole lives have been, but the last year have pushed us all to expose our hearts, whether for good or for bad. And it's hard to remain good, but controlling this, patience, stepping back, breathing, it helps. It helps to apply all them things. And when you're eating good foods too, it's sort of, so many people are on attack mode because of what they're putting in their mouth. And they're so addicted to the flesh. It's not controlling their tongue. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. That's why the tree of life got taken away from us, of the way we're living. But it don't have to be like that. It don't have to be like that. It's a decision that we make. Revelation 22:14, blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. And that tells you how to have access right there. The ones who are doing his commandments. You do his commandments because you love him. And he followed them all, fulfilled them all. He lived a certain way. We're never going to be able to live exactly or perfect like him, but striving and doing our best and fasting and praying and asking for more is how we're going to grow in that. We lose control of this thing, That's where a lot of people get stuck. We're worrying about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying, what everybody else is thinking. We need everybody else's approval. Why do you need everybody else's approval? It sounds like a confidence problem or something, but it is, because where has your confidence been put? We have a wonderful blessing that's been left here for us. A wonderful blessing. And it's been turned into a joke and mocked at for a long time. Revelation 2:7. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who overcomes, I will give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. We know the tree of life surrounds the throne and the description of heaven. We know it surrounds it. Like, that's why on judgment, a lot of people are going to be standing there. They're already going to know their fate while standing there. They're going to smell it, as it says, because there's a very fragrant smell if you go through the descriptions of the Bible, and the incense and the smoke and the oil, which is what Jesus did. He come and anointed the people with oil. Revelation 22:2. This is one of the more popular verses for a lot of people. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. We need healing. We have something that can assist in that. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. I personally will put my faith more into the tree than any man. I always have. Ezekiel 47:12. Along the bank of the river and on the side, and that will grow all kinds of trees used for food. Trees for food. Their leaves will not wither, and their fruit will not fail. They will bear fruit every month, because their water flows from the sanctuary. Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for medicine. I'm going to end with this one and be done. Psalms 1:3, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Tree of life. Control your tongue, you'll get access. Love each other. Do your best. You see somebody, pick them up. Help them. We got to quit kicking people when they're down, because all of us are down. If we can't realize that, we've all been kicked down. And let's not kick each other down further just because they want us to. That's not what love is. So I hope and pray, people tap more into that frequency and want more of it, because it's amazing. It's amazing, the feeling to serve others. It's fuel. It is food. It's what we're here to do, is serve our brothers and sisters, love one another. It's the ultimate commandment. It's easy to get into this fighting and anger, and it's easy to get into that spirit. And it's tempting all of us. But I'm telling you, once you get this thing down here a little bit under control and everything's flowing like it needs to be, it helps so much. You still have to make the decision on what to say and how to control it, but to me, this is fun. The joy and the fun has been taken from a lot of people, but it's not supposed to. And the reason why is you're using so much energy trying to digest stuff that is not supposed to be coming in the temple. You're using all your energy for that. And that's what, to me, I think is sad. I think we all have something very special inside of us, and it's we either choose to cover it up or we choose to reveal it. And once we start revealing it, it gets addictive. Because it's a feeling, and it feels wonderful. And you want to share it with people. You really do. That's love. Sharing with people. Not condemning people and doing all that. Like, if we get into that judging business, there's a pretty good chance we're not being active, being an example, because now we're using all of our energy worrying about others and all this stuff. It's a waste. If you worry about yourself and show your fruit, you're not going to have no time to worry about what everybody else is doing. Because you're going to realize how much work we got to do. And there is a ton of work to do. A ton of work that can be done. You just got to look around. Tree of Life is a blessing, and there's a beautiful story of it. We had it taken away from us. Jeremiah talks about this, why we would have it taken away from us. And we got into idol worship. We got into worshiping men. We got into worshiping things. We got into worshiping, doing rituals on holy days, doing all these things, and we lost our rights as a whole. Now, as there's still people, we're given the rights. We're given the rights through the blood. That's what the cross is all about. And you will get the rights. But you can have them taken away, too. That's all their own choice. So for me, it's like, I'm going to keep doing what we're doing, growing, because I feel like we're never done. We're never finished. And a lot of people get to a certain part on this, and I think they quit growing. They think they're good or they're saved. I think that's dangerous. There's so many people that are saved that also seem like they're sitting idle, not doing anything, or worshiping an idol. There's a lot of idols. We live in America. We're surrounded by idols. And we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. I don't think any of us are free from that. So that's where we're all one. We're all alike because we've all fallen into this. I mean, that's what we did. And we're waking up. And the Great Awakening, it's one by one by one. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. As you read, this has happened over and over and over. It's one by one by one. By the laying on of hands. That's why they want to keep us separated. There's power in touch. There's power in touch. And sure, there can be curse in touch too. You know, for people who aren't keeping it wholesome, addicted to fleshly things that make your mind carnal. This is the temple of God. Temple of God. Clean it out so you can have communication. So you can make the right decision. When we're not on top of our game and feeling good, it's hard to serve. It's hard to be an example. It's hard to be full of joy, because usually when you feel like crap, you don't want to be around people, you know, all that. See, you know, and sometimes that meal might be it. It might not hit you for 2 or 3 days, you know, but then you go to war. It's a war on energy. It's a war on energy. It's a war for your energy, because they don't want you to be who you are. They don't want any of us to be that. And they've done a really good job at holding us down. But we got to get everybody up. We got to lift each other up. And it's one by one, like how it's always been. Just said that a minute ago, but that's where we're at. Have a good day. Peace and love. Drink your juice, the new wine, the fresh juice, as it says. The new wine will be found in the cluster of the fruit. It's not fermented alcohol wine. It's fresh juice that's found in the cluster. That's what was served. Yeah, might not get you drunk in the way you think it does, but it gets you drunk. Like, you hadn't really gotten high until you get into that new wine. There's something special in it. It says there's a blessing in the new wine, but you know, people want that instant blessing. Like, oh, take a sip. I didn't feel it. It's about changing your life. Keep sipping. Keep sipping. Keep sipping. Turn your TV off and quit tripping and start sipping. I'm telling you, like, let's lift up because it's amazing. I don't know. I know I'm crazy with it, but I love the feeling, so I don't know what to do. I don't love the feeling of my stomach hurting and sitting on the toilet and this and this and this and this and just poor digestion and eating food and laying down. Like, I got tired of that lifestyle like 10, 11, 12 years ago. And I realized it's amazing, like being taught in the American way and then coming out of it. It's amazing. But it's sad also when you want everybody else to feel it. You want everybody else to feel it. Because the more that we do feel it, the more we feel it. Because we are all one. As a collective, we're sick. I think in one season we could change that, though. It says that. But we can't when we're divided. We can't when we're divided. Peace and love. Turn the TV off and quit tripping. New wine, sipping. All day, every day. That's what we're here to do. We ain't stopping. We ain't stopping for